Going down, people. TGI Friday, open sessions and giveaways. Hope everybody having a happy Friday, man. Let me get these groups in. You know how I do. The more the merrier. Hope everybody chilling, man. Still having throat issues, but I'll be all right. Hope I'm not getting that DOC shit. Feel me? Yeah, people tapping in. What's going on, everybody? TGI Friday, Al York Sports. I can't see the people's coming in. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I took something out. Okay, here we go. We got Steve Levine in the building. Steve Levine, I got a new follower. Her name is Brittany. Tell her thank you very much. That was a funny incident. But I'll talk to you soon, brother. Have your Philly questions. You know we here. Let me just wait till a few people get on board, and then we're going to start the show. But I'm going to start my shout out, and I'm going to give y'all some knowledge of something I just basically, not really just picked up, but something I went through that I want to give y'all knowledge upon. We got Ernest Vega in the building, Mr. Potato Head. Yo, Ernest, we got people asking where you at, baby, so let me know when you want to link up. Got a couple of Ernest Vega fans that wondering where you at, baby. Let's get you back on. Real talk, let's get you back on. Let me just wait till the room fill up a little bit. Give y'all a quick little speech. Then we're going to start the show. Y'all already know what it is. Yeah, I got to let it pack up a little bit. We only got about 5 heads here. TGI Friday, everybody. We had some rain in Vegas yesterday. That was kind of crazy. I love when there's rain. I mean, when I was in New York, it rained so much. I hated rain. But out here, you wish it rains. Like, I just wish it rains. Jeff Gersten in the building. So we had some rain. Unfortunately, I slept through it. But when I drove to work, I seen the wet floor, so I already knew. But I know my man Jeff seen the rain, experienced the rain, and it's always a pleasure when it rains in Vegas. Yo, what up, baby? My man Chico listed in the building. My man Suge Knight. All right, let me give y'all this story before we start the show. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of knowledge, especially for all the working individuals. I got a whole new way of living my life and going about business now. You got to be careful with people that you meet anywhere. I kind of knew this, but you know, me being me, thinking like, you know what, I know what time it is. It ain't going to happen to me. It just happened to me. I had a person that I thought was a friend in my job who obviously really wasn't. Can't name the individual. Won't tell you what, if it's a male or female. Can't do that. Too much information where it could get me in trouble. But the moral of the story is learn to observe people the first, let's say, week or 2 at your job before you encounter with them. Now, I had a couple situations in the club before this. I told y'all before I could be controversial because I check people when they play themselves. That's why I'm controversial. Other people watch people play themselves and stay quiet. I'm the nigga to let you know. Yo, why you had to do that? Like, that was unnecessary. That's why I get into more issues than a lot of you guys, because I don't know how to fall back as much. But what I am going to do from now on, instead of greeting people out the gate like this, I'm going to be on some straight mute shit, like, and just see how they roll. And then when you watch how a person roll for a couple of weeks, without letting them know, though, you don't let them know you're doing it. You got to learn how to play it off a little bit. You might say what up once in a while, but you watch how people roll. Then you pick if you want to fuck with this person or not. That's where I messed up. I bring them in before knowing the kind of person they were. And I went through some stuff this week, and I'm not saying it could have led to termination, but it could have. It could have got ugly. But lucky I was strong enough to pull back, Wifey hollered at me. All my friends hollered, Al, chill, leave it alone. Fade it, fade it, fade it. So I faded it. So the least I could do for my people that show me love, that contribute, that look at my show, is enlighten y'all on what I went through to make y'all a better individual and be more on point. Don't mess with people out the gate. Let them prove themselves before you call them a friend or you shake their hands. And with that, I don't mean to preach too long. Let's start the show. Yeah, I'm going to switch it up on y'all. I got some freestyle guys from back in the day that said, Al, you only do hip-hop, man. You don't never show us no love. Hear the love right here. Al, your sports, TGI Friday, open sessions and giveaways, no drinking and driving. It's the fucking law. You know what it is. Don't say I ain't show y'all no love, man. All right, let's go. Oh, man. I just hope y'all took in what I told y'all. Valuable lesson, valuable lesson. I mean, it made me a better person. Let's just say that. Go to YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Put your comments in. Hit the notification bell. Continue the good work, peoples. Shout out to the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. Las Vegas, New York City, LES to the death. Nueva York. Credit fix. Never too late to get your credit fix. IG me, inbox me, email me. al.newyork@yahoo.com. Never too late to get your credit fix. Need instrumentals? I got your guy. Mac Warner is a beast. Need advertisement? Hit me up and I'll hook you up. Hit me up and I'll hook you up. And to my boy Victor Gaston, clothing line, I Love Money clothing line. He's going to put up a link on my show where y'all could click it. And he's got some real nice stuff with I Love Money. So if y'all into that kind of stuff, support my boy. Support my boy because he's a good dude. He'll work the prices with y'all. And, you know, just support him. I have him put the link up later on. Let's go into sports now. Sad news in the NFL. Ex-first round pick Richard Anderson for the Carolina Panthers, a star at Jackson State, was pronounced dead the other day. Cause of death, they don't know. So the most I can say is, God bless his family and rest in power, Richard Anderson. Other news. The Phoenix Suns did what they had to do. They did what they had to do. The Indiana Pacers offered DeAndre Ayton 4 years, 133. Suns had to match that. And exactly like I thought, my boy Goose even called it out. We all called it out. We knew that he would match, Suns would match it. They did match it. So as of right now, DeAndre Ayton is still a Phoenix Sun, which is very important for a team that's trying to get back to the big dance. Keeping a big man. Good move by the Suns. Though I thought you should have paid the man already. You should have let him go out there and see what he was worth and then match it. You could have just knocked that out the way and paid him. But they got it done. That's all that matters. Salute to the Suns and DeAndre Ayton. Denver Nuggets and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope have agreed on a 2-year, $30 million contract extension, which will start 2023-2024. Watch out for the Denver Nuggets. Me and my boy Mark Guillory, a.k.a. MG, are going to give y'all the Western Conference right after I get through my shenanigans real quick. You don't want to miss it. Salute to KCP. I think he can help the Nuggets out, especially coming off the bench. Other news, Milwaukee Bucks guard Pat Connaughton has agreed to a 3-year, $28.5 extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. And now his total deal is 4 years for $34 million for a bench player that does this much. Told y'all, NBA is throwing millions around like it's nothing. And we over here fighting for crumbs. We fighting for crumbs while the NBA is just throwing millions around like a jalabi ball in the air, like a beach ball. Just like that. It's crazy what Larry Bird, Julius Erving, all these old guys, Clyde Wolf Frazier, have created for these young boys today. They better be praying and praising all them cats, because them cats ain't see no real money. And these guys are getting millions tossed to them like a beach ball. Other news, New York Yankees righty, second pitcher on the rotation, Luis Severino, is on the 15-day disabled list, which is not too bad going into the All-Star game, because the All-Star time off is going to help him, and we need him strong. We need Sevy strong. He's been shaky his last couple starts. Hopefully Severino can get his shit together. MG, where you at? Let's get this party started. Give me a minute, guys. Don't go nowhere. We're going to get this started.
Yo,
What's up, big man?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Okay, hold up. Let me get out, get back in. I can't hear you. Give me a minute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Al?
What's
Happy
going
Friday,
on? I
bro.
want you to put some bass on that voice. You know what I told you? This is my man, Mark Guillory.
What's going on?
A.K.A. MG, a.k.a. my nickname. This is my nickname, the Green-Eyed Bandit. Although he don't like it,
What's up?
but that's my nickname for him. What's going on, big dog?
Oh, man, you know I'm always representing the town, right? Since we're going to talk about the Western Conference tonight and get into some greatest of all time, I thought I'd break out. I wore the championship sweatshirt last week, so I thought I'd just wear some normal gear this week, where it all started, the Golden State Warriors in Oakland, California, baby. That's where I'm from.
Let me throw you a name real quick.
You don't want none.
Let me give you a name quick. Joe Barry Carroll. What does that name mean to you?
Joe barely cares. That's what that name means to me. But there's arguments back and forth about the production of Joe Barry Carroll. We called him Joe Barely Cares here in the town in the Bay Area. But those are some memorable teams. You had Phil Smith, you had Sonny Parker.
Woo! Talk to
Purvis
me,
Short,
baby.
World Be Free.
World Be Free with his ball spot. How you got a ball spot like World Be Free at like 28 years old?
And who could forget
the enforcer? Nappy around the sides.
Absolutely. Who can forget the enforcer, Larry Smith, baby? Always on the boards. One of the greatest rebounders in NBA history.
Let me stop you before you keep going. I need you to answer this next question within 1 minute. You don't know it was coming.
Okay.
So it's like a surprise question, but I know you can answer it. Speculation in the NFL is basically thinking that Deshaun Watson's only getting 4 to 6 weeks. I'm going to ask you and Jeff Gershon the same question. I want your take in 1 minute. What do you think of the NFL if they do give him 4 to 6 weeks? What that means to Mark Guillory?
Well, I mean, I think it means that this is non-criminal behavior, that you're punishing Deshaun Watson for embarrassing the league. It's sexual misconduct. He put himself in these precarious situations and didn't need to. It's an embarrassment on the league and the profession and the gridiron club to do what he did to those women. I mean, let's tell it how it is. He's a predator. He's into some weird kinky shit, and he deserves the 6-game suspension for just the sheer embarrassment. I'm not even sure why he didn't settle this shit off at the beginning. I think it's bad form on his part. He needs some help. Needs some therapy. Doesn't take away from his on the field performance, but I think I think that a full season suspension is a little bit too much, especially given some of the owners' behavior that haven't gotten any kind of discipline whatsoever. But looking at how players have been disciplined for non-criminal conduct, when there's basically no videotape, no proof, it's word against word. I think the NFL hit the mark. Anything more would have been excessive, and I don't think it actually would fly as far as from the player's perspective and the NFLPA.
Right. I'm going to say first, salute to all the women to have to go through stuff like this. You got to give the women their props. God bless the woman. Me personally, the information the other fell gathered up through him admitting to him paying a lot of these ladies off, I'd have had to give them at least 10 games to a year. Especially with the woman thing. You got to get a woman they love. The woman's got to get they love with so much years of them being tortured by men year after year. And I'm pretty sure you got knowledge of that because you're an older cat like myself. So we heard this and, we watched it on TV where guys get over with anything. But, okay, let's move on because I'm going to ask the same question to Jeff Gerson. Appreciate your take on that topic. It was unexpected.
Yep.
Western Conference. Now, we're going to jump into the Western Conference. I'm just going to give you 4 teams that we know are going to make the playoffs, and then a bunch of other teams where I want your input on. It's fair to say your Golden State Warriors are in, right?
Number 1. That's the number 1 seed.
Phoenix be signing Aton, makes them an automatic bid also.
Well, we're gonna talk about that. Make some automatic bid, but you kind of touched upon it. We need to expand and get granular. I like the word granular. We need to get granular with what Phoenix did because you touched upon something with regard to Phoenix. So we'll get there in a minute.
Okay. Luka Doncic with the 2 acquisitions. I think it's safe to say Tim Hardaway Jr. should be back. I say they're gonna make the playoff. We're talking making the play. We're not talking championships.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
And Jamal Murray, Memphis Grizzlies, let's throw them in. I mean, I could have threw any other 2 team. I just picked 4. I could have threw the Clippers and Denver in this list. But I'm just running with that. Now let's go to the Denver Nuggets. This is the breakdown I want for you. 48-34 last year. The Joker, hopefully a healthy Jamal Murray. That's what we're hoping for as NBA fans. Michael Porter Jr. is back. He was starting to develop a game over there. Then you got the old school Jeff Green and Aaron Gordon, of course, and the acquisition of Caldwell Pope,
right,
which I think will help him off the bench. What's your take on the Denver Nuggets as quick as you could break it down?
Well, when you have the Joker, you always have a chance to make the playoffs. I have the Denver Nuggets as the number 6 seed in the West. And here's why. Even though they're getting Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back, neither Jamal Murray nor Michael Porter Jr. has ever played a full season in the NBA. Their seasons are partial. Some are drastically partial. With Murray, the fullest season he had, I think, was 62 games in 2018. He averaged 21 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. So,
and he was a must in the playoffs. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and if he brings that 20,
him and the Spider were going at it the whole playoffs.
And if he brings that 24, 4 and 4 with 40% from the 3-point shooter, which he shoots from the 3-point line, which he shoots for his career, then you have a different story. Then it looks like Denver and Minnesota might swap places. I have Minnesota at 5. Michael Porter Jr. Ever since the kid got drafted, remember he missed the first full season of his rookie year. He only played 1 game, I think. He's never been healthy. And he's only played 126 games in 4 seasons. And his best stats are 19-7-1. Although he does shoot 44% from behind the arc.
His best stats were when?
19-7-1. 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. So,
okay.
That's pretty solid. If you get Michael Porter Jr. at 19-7-1, you get 21, 4 and 4 from Jamal Murray, and you got Jokic a double every game. Denver could, and you have Caldwell Pope with his 13, 3 and 2. You have a solid coalition, solid base there, or Denver can make some noise. I just don't think they're going to be healthy for the rest of the season. Also, they're going to have a problem with the smaller teams like the Phoenix Suns, the Clippers, and the Golden State Warriors. They're not quick enough, and that was the problem with Denver. Even though Murray and Porter weren't playing, I don't think it would have made a difference when it comes to teams like the Golden State Warriors, the Phoenix Suns, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Los Angeles Clippers next year. They're going, which are all going to be the top 4 teams, and they're going to be the smallest teams in the Western Conference.
Okay, real quick, I agree with a lot of stuff you said, but to me it all depends on how healthy Jamal Murray is, and can he be the old Jamal Murray when he left? Can he be that guy? And you know that that's going to take some time. We know that.
Yep.
Let's go to the next team real quick. You're going to go to the Minnesota T-Wolves. Very surprising last year. Really showed us love in the playoffs. I love watching them. 46-36 record. led by Big Cat, Anthony Edwards, D'Lo. They just picked up Rudy Gobert in that big trade. So they're gonna form somewhat of a twin tower. You can't forget Bryn Forbes. Talk to us real quick.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are one of the dumbest teams in the league, the way they play. If you looked at that Minnesota-Memphis series, they had the series won, and they actually just dumbed the
Blew
game
two
down.
games.
They blew it. In the last 5 minutes, they did the same thing that Miami did, and they just played dumb. The Memphis series. They played dumb. They had Memphis beat. Now, the Timberwolves got Rudy Gobert for – they gave up. Here's what they gave up. I had to actually print this out. Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Leandro Bolmaro, Walker Kessler, who they just drafted, Jared Vanderbilt, the 2023 first-round draft pick, 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2029 first-round draft pick. So basically, they're going all in next year. The problem with the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're too big. Who are they guarding? They have Karl Anthony Towns in the middle. They have Rudy Gobert.
Towns going to move the forward. Gobert's going to play the five.
He's going to have to play. He's going to have to extend against some of these smaller teams with the forwards. He's not going to be in the paint anymore. You have Gobert in the paint, who again against these teams like Aton, he's not going to be down low in the post. He's going to be extended. So how are the 13 rebounds a game and the 2 blocks a game going to be affected by them playing extended and being stretched like that?
Right.
And then where is their scoring coming from on the wings and at the point compared to the other Western Conference teams and the big 3 that the top 4 teams have on each of those squads? I have them down as my number 5 just on paper, but I think they can swap with Denver very easily, especially if we get Murray and Porter coming back. The Minnesota Timberwolves can find themselves in the 7th seed. I don't think anybody's going to do as bad as the Lakers in them top 7. So, but I know we'll have to get to that in a minute.
And not only that, teams picked up on what Minnesota did last year. So now they're being watched. Unlike last year, they wasn't being watched last year. Came out of nowhere. Now teams know about them. So it's going to be harder for them to surprise teams. Okay, real quick. Pelicans. Led by Ingram. Zion is back. I don't know what that means. I'm going to ask you. CJ McCullough. You got to love CJ. I think they picked up the young boy. Who's the young boy? Is it Dyson Daniels, if I'm saying it right?
Yep, Dyson Daniels.
Your take on the Pelicans and what you think they could achieve this year. Can they be better than what they were, Mark, or we're going to see the same team?
I think you brought up Jalen Brunson being signed with the Knicks. So Dallas, this is one of the teams that I have on the 9th right now in the ninth bracket. I think they can overtake the Lakers and actually swap places with Dallas and avoid the play-in game by the number 7 seed. Yeah, Brandon Ingram and C.J. McCollum and Zion. Zion is bringing that 27 points a game, 7 rebounds and 3 assists a game back to New Orleans with what they had as their core. And remember, they have 2 undrafted rookies that played over 70 games and averaged about 22 minutes a game last season. So they have 11 contract players coming back, and not including Zion, who just signed.
And Jonas, the big man Jonas, I can't pronounce his last name, Vulovic, whatever that, one of them names. Jonas, he a boy. He ain't no scrub.
Well, he's a good rebounder and good defense.
Yes.
So I think
he's the president.
It's going to be tough to beat the New Orleans Pelicans, and that's my home away from home. So that's my sleeper team, along with the Sacramento Kings, to punch through and possibly get to even the 6th seed. But I don't think they can overtake the Denver Nuggets the way they're currently situated. I think do not take the Pelicans lightly. They're coming.
No. You got CJ over there. You got Ingram, who has emerged. It all depends on what Zion can bring to the table.
And if you look at if you compare Brandon Ingram's stats from last year to KD, he's only 5 points per game back. Everything else on rebounds and assists are
I
right
call
around
him a
the
broke
same.
man KD. I already call him a broke man KD. Ingram is dope. That kid is blossoming every year. And if you notice, he picked up some attitude. When he first came in the league, he looked like a push-around kind of cat. Try pushing him around now. Ingram throwing his hands up. So what that means is he's got that fight in him, and you want that fight. You understand?
And he was pushed around. He was pushed around by LeBron James. That's why they got rid of him. But they should. But who's laughing now, right? Who's zooming who, right? Who's laughing now? The Pelicans are
Right, right.
probably going to outplay the
Okay.
Lakers in the upcoming year.
I'm going to add an extra team, then I'm going to go to my last team. Take over this whole one. Tell everybody what to expect for the Sacramento Kings.
Well, Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray is the it guy up there. I've been looking at him in summer league. He looks pretty good. I think the
I
Sacramento
agree.
Kings they are my paper sleeper team in addition to the Pelicans to break through into the top 8. I think they've added a core nucleus. They already have a core nucleus from the last 2 draft picks. They have their first round draft pick from last year, De'Aaron Fox. I think
Yep.
actually from was it last year or 27? Yeah, it was last
Couple
year.
years back.
A couple of years back. They have him coming out the pandemic, the bubble year. That doesn't count. Sorry, Laker fans. The bubble championship does not count. But coming out of that, they were a little bit off. But I think they're going to come on strong here. Now, it's Sacramento, though, right? So how much is Sacramento going to actually play ball? I think the Sacramento.
Let me interject real quick.
Sure.
Do you like that they went for the person they needed, or you think they should have went who the professionals, you know what I'm saying, and everybody else that's saying they should have got Jalen Ivey?
Well, I mean,
because Ivy's the better player, I think, but I think they needed Murray more for their situation.
But how are Ivy and De'Aaron going to play together, though?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the same position. So you needed to get a shooting guard in there.
Yeah, I agree.
That athleticism. So they made the pick they needed.
Okay. Now let's move on to our last team. Last but not least, the LA Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, PG-13. John Wall now's in the mix. The thing is, what version of John Wall we gonna get? If John Wall is anything like he was with the Wizards, this is gonna be a real fun team to watch if they can stay healthy. You know they got a bench. Reggie Jackson, Morris, Kennard. They got a couple guys off the bench that can really produce for them. So the Clippers are stacked. The thing is can a top 3 players who are injury prone can stay healthy for the whole year, Mark? Your take.
Well, they have Reggie Jackson, so that's he's 16-3-4, and if you watch him,
he's an animal. I love Reggie Jackson.
But the only problem with him is he averages about 2.5 turnovers a game, so he's that's pretty high for a shooting guard.
He makes up for that though for me, man.
Well, I mean, he doesn't create any turnovers to balance that out, so he loses as many points as he scores, and that's never going to be good. As a matter of fact, you look at his plus minus, it's probably really low plus when he's in the game.
Right.
But you're right. If Kawhi Leonard comes back and he's Kawhi Leonard of Toronto, or is even Kawhi Leonard of the Western Conference Finals that they made it to before everybody got hurt, and Paul George comes back, I think they're going to be they could. I have them at number 2 at full strength, and I have the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Championship against the Los Angeles Clippers, and I think it's going to be probably a 7-game series if they come back strong, given the strength that the Warriors are going to be coming back with Wiseman and Clay at full strength. But I don't count John Wall at all, though. I mean, you can't count on John Wall.
Well, you can throw Reggie in the mix. If John Wall don't pan out, you can slide Reggie right in that mix.
So then you just have the same team that you had before, and can that team? They're built to match up against the Warriors. If you notice how the owner has built that team, he actually acts like Joe Lacob, Barham, I guess his name is. That team is meant to compete against the Warriors. They built that team up the same way the Warriors built.
Yeah, like my man just said, man, and also Zubac. So I'm telling you, they deep. They deep.
Then they have Powell, Covington, and Hardenstein coming back too. So good bench. And if the Warriors has taught the league anything, you build from the draft, and then you put in those pieces to build through depth. So every team needs a Jordan Poole coming off the bench to add that firepower to the second team. If you notice what the Warriors do, then they mix and match based upon matchups. And not too many actually. There's not too many teams that can match up against the Warriors in the Western Conference, but the Clippers at full strength.
Yeah, I think Clippers could. I'm glad that you admitted that. Okay, basically, kind of early to predict, champions, etc. But if we had to just say who's representing the Western Conference? Are you going to stick with your Warriors?
Yes, I'm stick with the Warriors. I think we're going to repeat. I think the championship game is going to be the Golden State Warriors versus the Milwaukee Bucks coming out the East. I think if you thought that the 2022 playoffs were great, which I did, I thought the matchups
Oh,
were
it was
pretty good.
wonderful.
I
We
know
had a
that
little bit of everything. It was wonderful.
and I know we had blowouts and seesaw games where one team would blow out the other and the other team would blow out the other the next game. But I think that was due to injuries and things of that nature. I think next year, everybody's healthy. It's probably going to be one of the greatest playoffs in the NBA history. I do think the teams are a little bit more normalized. They're good matchups. Teams like the Pelicans breaking in. Look what they did with Phoenix without Zion. They took Phoenix to 6 games without Zion. New Orleans had Zion, they would have beat Phoenix. And then you saw where their mismatches are. You also saw where Dallas has no middle, and they haven't really corrected their problem through the draft. They haven't done so.
They
They
picked
don't
up
have.
Woods. Woods is going to help out.
Well, Christian Woods is great, but they
And
have
I think they also got JaVale McGee, if I'm correct.
Well, he's
McGee,
okay.
let me tell you something. People sleep on him. That guy work hard, man. You should know, because he was a Golden State for a little while. Nobody plays harder than him as far as the big man. He plays hard. The thing is,
for 6 minutes.
He ain't a scorer like that, but he could defend. But let's go quick, Mark, because we only got a few minutes.
Sure.
Okay, so I would agree with you. I would say Golden State. I think the Clippers could get them if they're healthy. And in the Eastern Conference, I would have to say, because Middleton is back and the acquisition of Ingles, I got to give Milwaukee the edge. It means shit, but I'm going to give them the edge. Okay, real quick. NBA top 5 ever non-active players. Let me repeat myself, because I know you're going to try to throw Steph in there somehow. Non-active players. Give me your top 5, and I'll give you mine.
Let me cross them. So I go by skill, and it really has to be skill. And like in baseball, you have 5-tool players. So I go by skill level and impact.
Just give me
on
your
the
top
game.
5. You ain't got to break down what you got, why you do it. Just give me Mark Guillory's top 5.
I have Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay. You like them big men, don't you?
Well, I think that the most dominant player in the game and the most dominant center in the game have to be amongst your top 5. Especially the people that they played against. They played against all-stars. I know my father would probably disagree with me and put Russell in there, and Russell is from Oakland, so I don't feel like I'm a traitor to the town. But he did play.
I just don't think Russell was the best player on his team. So,
well, there was only 9 teams in the league at that point in the beginning, and then he's like
he wasn't even the best player on his team. I mean, I love him. You can nominate him. I'll not probably put him top 10, top 15, but you got to be the best player on your own team.
And Kobe's got to be in there. Not only the chips, but just the way he played was just the passion that he played with. Magic changed the game completely. The point guard position. Michael Jordan, there's nothing to say other than that. But I have Kobe on level with Michael Jordan, just the way they approach the game. If you have Michael Jordan in your top 5, how can you not have Kobe? They're virtually the same player. Look at the tape side by side. They're the same player.
I mean, you don't have to be top 5. As long as Kobe's in top 10, I wouldn't be mad at that. But don't have Kobe 20 and then you got Mike 1. I get what you're saying. But if Kobe lands up at 6, 7, that's not bad. I can live with that. But let me give you mine real quick. We got 1 minute left. Let me name the people I didn't name so that people don't say I don't have respect for them, because I do. Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Jerry West, Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Julius Erving, another guy that changed the game, Shaq O'Neal.
That's more than 5.
Huh? No, these are guys that I didn't pick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That I'm just letting people know I had them on my mind, but they just didn't fit my top 5.
And please mention John Havlicek, please.
My top 5, of course, is your Annis, Michael Jordan. That's my number 1 right there, overall.
Okay.
Number 2, one of my mans imprinted this in me, and once he did, I started doing a lot of homework. And you got to put him top 3, because the way he wins in organizations in college, high school, NBA, you got to throw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out there.
Of course. We agree on that.
Then I got Irvin Magic Johnson, one of my favorite players ever. The Showtime Lakers, Magic Johnson. Number 4, I had to get a white boy in there. I had to. Larry Legend.
Gotcha.
I watched Larry Legend to know he didn't have to have all the ability in the world to kick your ass. Smartest player ever, if you ask me. He would say Dennis Johnson is, because he said Dennis Johnson's the smartest player. He knew he was the smartest player. He just didn't want that credit. And last but not least, I hate to have a draw, but I couldn't pick one. Akeem Olajuwon, Kobe Bryant. I got him like right there, both of them as my 5th pick. If I had to go gun in my head, I'll probably go with Kobe Bryant. But I like both of them at 5. So that's my top 5. We out of time. I got to get my man Jeff. Any last words, Mark G? Great job as always. Say your last word before we out of here.
I appreciate it. Great sports show. Keep on doing your thing. Obviously, anytime. We have football season coming up. Rookies are reporting at some teams next week, so I'm excited about that. I'm about to switch into silver and black when I'm on the next show, and I can't wait to get into some football talk. I'm a Raider fan, but I'm a fair fan. Just like tonight, I'm a Golden State Warrior fan, but I keep it real with regard to what happens in the league. But I appreciate you bringing me on. This is a great show. Hoping to grow the base and help you do that, and so we'll see where we go, man. All good.
Great job, MG. Appreciate you and what you bring to the table. And Chango said Raiders.
That's right.
You know, so Raider fan. All right, baby. Have a good one.
Drink some tea, man. Take care of that.
Yeah, I'm going through it, but ain't gonna stop you. I'm gonna keep bringing it. We'll talk soon, brother. Mark G. Okay. Jeff Gerson, let's go. You got to get Jeff in there real quick. Get my man some recreation. Great job, Bob. Mark Guillory, as always. Jeff, I'm going to try to snatch you up. It's not letting me pull you up this way. Let me try the other way. Give me 1 minute. Damn, now I got to look this. My eyes going to get real Chinese on y'all. Jeff, try another way because it's not giving me the ability to pull you in through the comments either. Keep playing with it, Jeff. You always figure it out. I'm trying to find you on the comments to snatch you up, but it's not giving me the ability to. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this works. Okay, we got something. Goddammit. There he goes. Sportsbook Jeff in the building. What's going on?
What's happening?
Listen, we ain't going to waste no time. We're going to get right to it. NBA forward, LeBron James, questioned why Brittany Griner will want to return to this country that has taken so much time to her aid in a resolution for her. So in other words, they're not pressing to get her back. That's what LeBron's saying. Now, I know you had a lot to say about that. Talk to us. Make it short and right to the point. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm going to be very exact and very on point.
Talk dirty.
LeBron James, you need to stick to playing basketball. Get your nose out of politics. Get your nose out of being a GM. And get back to what you do, playing basketball. Because I tell you what, you're 100% wrong on this front. Okay? You've got somebody in Griner that is so ironic, okay, that she's the one that's kneeling down during the national anthem and then going into her locker room, not even hearing the national anthem, okay? This is the fact that I'll go a step further. This is a president that everybody supported in Biden, okay? They came right out. LeBron came out. The WNBA, everybody came out, okay? And now you're criticizing the president for not bringing you home. Well, unfortunately, guys, sometimes when you do the crime, you pay the time, okay? And you did it. You knew what you put in that suitcase, okay? Is their laws fair? No, they're not fair. But the bottom line is this. There's no way we can trade an average, I hate to say this, I mean, a WNBA star for a guy that is out selling arms throughout the world. Who the hell is going to make that trade? Okay? Someone that's going to go out and hurt people? Okay, at your expense because you're a star? No. Okay? Unfortunately, sometimes, you have to live through and have life lessons. And I know a lot of people, they're close to me, they've had to have some life lessons, and they come out better on the other side. Sometimes you just have to go through it. And Griner, unfortunately for you, you paid a heavy price, more than you probably should. But you know what? Unfortunately, you're probably not getting bailed out of this one. Okay?
Yeah, but Jeff, don't you think what you basically telling me is tit for tat? That's what you're telling me.
I'm not saying
She
tit for tat
didn't
at all.
respect the national anthem, so we should leave her in there. That's what you're basically telling me. I don't think that's right.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's ironic that someone that was like criticizing the government, okay, at the place you live, okay, to then be asking the same people to help you out.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got
you. Understand? And
so
like
what you're saying
LeBron,
is they're not going to be in hot pursuit. I get it.
right. And then you have LeBron, saying that if it was, I guess he made a comment because people were saying if LeBron was over there, he'd already be out. And LeBron's out there questioning. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You can't have it both ways. You just can't. Okay? And the fact of the matter is, I don't think the punishment fits the crime. Nobody does.
Right.
But the bottom line is, when you leave our country and you see what great freedom we have here in the United States, okay, to take that for granted when you leave with that attitude, you know what I'm saying, or an ego, and you go somewhere else, you find out how good you really have it. Okay? And you know what? Unfortunately for Miss Griner, you know what I'm saying, unless something comes up, she's going to pay a heavy price. And LeBron just needs to stick out of it.
Okay, let's move on because I want to get other stuff. Great points, Jeff, on this situation. I appreciate your take on this politics. You know I don't like politics, but you did a good job on that. You basically broke down to us the facts of what's going on.
Correct.
Now let's go to the NFL. Same question I asked MG. I'm going to ask you. The NFL's thinking of a 4 to 6 week suspension to Deshaun Watson. It's not on black and white yet, but that's what's speculating and going around the league. So if that holds up, Jeff, 4 to 6 weeks, how does Sportsbook Jeff interpret that information, knowing what this young boy has done?
Well, first thing we need to clarify, it's not the NFL making that decision. It's an arbitrator. They hear both sides that makes that decision.
Right.
But it goes to show you, too, though, how much power, again, the players have, okay, that they're taking that over the owners. And I can see why, because there's a lot of things I'm against the owners on. But the one thing I'm big on is you do the crime, you pay the time. And I can
hold on. There's a movie. You can't keep saying that without mentioning my man Beretta. Beretta, when his show started, would say that all the time. You know what I mean? If you do the crime, you got to do the time. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get that out there. But
I knew you did. But, I mean, there's 66 women that he's, whatever you want to call it, in any capacity, he crossed the line with.
Facts.
Okay? 66 women.
Let's
okay?
address it. Let's address it.
Smoke. Sure, you got a forest fire. Okay? It's spreading like wildfire. And the fact of the matter is, there's been very little to zero remorse out of Deshaun Watson. Okay? What kind of message do we send to young people? Okay?
Well, in his little mind, he thinks if he pays them, he's good, right? But we know that's not what it is.
No. That's
not what it is.
The problem is we're paying athletes, okay, to do their job when we got people that, like, guaranteeing $243 million to Deshaun Watson, okay, for doing what he did. What do you think he'd do to go out and take out a city? Did that get you a couple billion? Guaranteed by the learners in Cleveland, who I think are one of the 2 or 3 worst owners in football, by the way. And they've screwed it up for a lot of people. It's going to be very interesting with the Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson contracts negotiations going on right now. But the bottom line is this, okay? he's tarnished in a lot of people's eyes, probably for life, for what he's done. Okay, he can go out and say he won 3 Super Bowls somewhere down the road and this and that. But I'll tell you what, he'll never be considered among the best because of the way he approached this, his attitude towards it. And the bottom line result is the arbitrator probably had no other way to go but 4 to 6 games because no crime was committed. They didn't charge him, and the boards, that's probably what had to come down.
Real quick, Jeff, what would you have gave him? I said 10 games to a year. Before we go to our next topic, what would Sportsbook Jeff have served them as far as time off in the NFL?
Guaranteed you're done for the year, and then you have to file for reinstatement. I'm going to see what you've done.
Copy that. Okay, I got you. Now we're going to jump to a funner matter. MLB first half. Though we got weekend games, we got the Yankees losing 4-3, bottom of the 7th to the Bo Sox. We got a weekend left before jumping into the home run derby, all-star game, etc. So I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible. American League East, Yankees is winning, Rays is second, Jays is third. I'm not even going to say how many games behind. Both Sox, the Central, the Twins are winning, Cleveland, Chiefs, Sox. The West, Astros and the M's. I'm picking the teams that are competed that I think will compete all the way to the end. National League East, you got Mets, Atlanta, and the Phillies, of course. Central, Milwaukee, and your St. Louis Cardinals. The West, Dodgers, Padres, and Giants. My question to you is, who's the most surprising team in Sportsbook Jeff's eyes? In both leagues, one in each league.
Well, I mean, in the American League, to me, the most surprising team is the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, Baltimore is supposed to, again, finish near the bottom. They're getting the first pick in the draft the next few days. And they've run off, 10, 11 in a row? I mean, that's the most they've run off since
Still in the cellar, though, but I got you.
They're not that far off, though.
Couple games.
You know, you got to give a lot of kudos to that team. I mean, they were talking about trading some of these pieces, and now they're looking like a core.
Right. No, they all like a core. They can't wait to get out there every game.
Right.
I see the special on them and the locker room and all that. They really a team. They really think they could compete. So they just got to keep, messing with that momentum. Maybe next year, I'll say. Not this year, next year. But
arguably, I can make a point that Orioles are giving the Yankees the most problems, maybe next to Houston.
Facts.
So Orioles in the American League. National League. A little tougher to say, but at this point in time, I would probably go with the Padres. The fact that they're as close to Dodgers as they are, and Tatis hasn't played a game yet, and you've got a team that's bottom 5 in the league and hitting.
They're 10 games out, Jeff.
You're
saying it like it's 3 games out. They're 10 games out.
Right, but they stuck around where they need to do, waiting on Tatis. The problem, the reason they're 10 games out is they have not been able to beat the Dodgers at all this year. I think they're like 8-1 or something ridiculous against the Dodgers. So that's the reason for the spread. But I still think the Padres are a very formidable opponent, especially when Tatis gets back. And if they can get rid of one of their
back with all that pitching,
get rid of one of the pitchers.
And they got to get in, Jeff. They didn't get in last year. You got to get in. You got to be in it to win it. And I'm afraid that they don't get in again. I don't know why. That's just what I'm thinking. You really think they get in? I'm afraid they're not. But go ahead.
Yeah, they're not gonna fold this year. They really won't. But they need to take care of business against Colorado, and the Arizonas of the world a little bit more stronger than what they are. Right.
Okay. My surprise is I'm gonna keep it everything New York. I thought my Yankees wasn't gonna make the playoffs. I'm not ashamed to admit that. We didn't do anything special in the offseason. We didn't get better. But what happened was we had career years from about 4 or 5 people. That's what got us in this situation. Salute to my New York Yankees. Make it short and simple because a lot of people hate when I talk about my Yankees. National League. I got the Mets. I mean, even though I know the Mets every year come out the gate like the horse that leads out the gate. And then this is what happens. Look. Before you know it, other horses coming and they pass them. Now, my question to you, we haven't seen too much of Scherzer, too much of DeGrom. Does that other horse pass them when they come back? Or this horse can sustain and win the division? Your take real quick.
I'd put it this way. I mean, Atlanta's been super hot over the
Wow.
past June and into early July here. But I just think in the end, the Mets are too much this year for Atlanta. The pitching's not going to match up down the stretch. I mean, they just got Scherzer back. DeGrom's around the corner. But I like the guys they have in there right now pitch extremely well.
And Diaz is the old Diaz from Seattle.
Yes.
I
Probably
got
the best pitch in New York.
The sinker, the curveball. He's getting the ball over the plate. He's pitching so good, Jeff. They got a special song for him when he comes out. And he earned that for going in there getting those 3 outs. I can't tell you the song. You might want to look it up. It's a funny song. It always makes me laugh when I hear it. But real quick, Jeff.
If I was the Mets, the only thing I would do.
3-4 minutes. Most disappointing. Let's get it out real quick.
Each league. American League, let's go again with the Angels. I mean, they bring in a couple guys, Lorenzen, Syndergaard, shore up the bullpen a little bit. You know, they got the lineup. Again, big losing streak, 14, 15-game losing streak. You know, even though they broke that up, they haven't still recovered.
Right.
I don't know what the problem is. The culture there, the bad karma from the way they treated Pujols, who knows? But whatever they're doing is not working, and they probably need to clean house all the way up to the top.
Wow. Well, I agree with the Angels. Who you think in the National League is the most disappointing? I agreed all the way. I mean, you could throw the Chiefs Sox in there, but when I looked at my thing, the Chiefs Sox are only 4 games out, and they've been playing bad. So if they get anything from last year, Tony La Russa gets that group going, 4 games is nothing. You know that. I know that. That's a 4-game weekend series. You sweep that, you tied them up. So that's nothing. Angels definitely horrible. National League, most disappointed team, Jeff.
You know what? The National League, they really, I mean, it would have been Atlanta, 6 weeks ago. They were kind of floundering around, but they, came back into it. Really, I would say if you had to go, it would be the Giants, and that's really stretching it. I just think the Giants overachieved last year, really overachieved. They're coming back down to earth a little bit. Do you see how much they're missing their Buster Posey? I think the leadership of Posey. But I would say the Giants, but not a huge – it wouldn't be a huge, underachieving.
Right.
They'll come back down.
It's hard for me to pick one because, like you said, everything looks like we expected it to look like. I'm going to surprise you on this one. I'm going to say the Padres because my expectations for them, with all that pitching, even without Tatis, I thought there'll be a game, 2 games right there fighting with the Dodgers all year long, especially what happened to them last year. And not to mention, they continue to get raped by the Dodgers.
They get crushed by the Dodgers.
Yeah, so to me, they're the most disappointing because of that. Now, their record might be out. How they disappointed? They 50-41. But to me, I thought there'll be 20 games over 500 in the first half. Okay, with Tatis share, maybe 12 without him. But my man, to me, I watched them. Remember, we get them in the West Coast. We get to watch them.
Right.
They are not impressive for me. And then you got
It's the offense.
1-5 in mid-season. They are not impressive in no way for me right now.
It's their offense is pedestrian. That's the problem. And you would have thought that'd be the problem.
And the manager, to me, they got to – I know he's an old-school manager, but they got to get a marquee guy to run that club. Like, if they get a marquee manager, I think with the talent they got, then you start to see them get to that next level.
Well, I think they thought Bob
real
Melvin was
quick.
that guy.
Any last words?
No last words. Just a shared moment with everybody. I had being living in Chicago for 22 years and going through the 6 championships for Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Had the thrill of a lifetime this week. For 1 hour in my car, Ubering, I had Scottie Pippen and his 3 sons. Wasn't expected. Scotty was Scotty.
My man, you got one of the top 50 players ever.
Yep, and
in your car. That's kind of special there. And then you said you was locked in with him for like an hour during traffic.
Yep, we shot
See,
the
if you
bull.
knew how to maneuver that mouth like I do, I'd have got me a picture. I'd have got me something. But I know you try to play the cool guy, but that's enough time for me to get into him. Like when I ran into beast mode, it was like a 2-minute window I had. And beast mode he had a shield up. He wasn't having no picture. But pimping with me with an hour, all I would have done was talk about all the great shit he did that without witness, the Patrick Ewing done ran me out my couch. And before you know it, when I got out the car, Scotty, let me get a picture. I'd have got mine. I promise you, I would have got mine. But that's to take nothing away from you, Jeff. You don't run like that. You a different individual. That's why you Jeff Gerson and I'm Al York. Fair enough?
You got it, baby.
Yo, have a good one. We're going to talk more tonight. Great show as always. We'll get right back, Jeff.
All right.
Okay, brother. All right, guys. MG came and bring it. Sportsbook Jeff came and bring it. I'm super pleased what I got from both of these individuals. You know I'm coming regardless. Whether I'm wicked with it, whether I'm crazy with it, whether I'm sloppy with it, you're going to get the energy. That's all what it is. Now we're going to giveaways. Round 2, giveaway 1. Let the best person win. Let me put this on for y'all real quick. I'm gonna line this up in the middle. Damn, I ain't want y'all to see my Nike box. Okay, you want to make sure y'all see everything clear as window. So y'all know how I do it. I don't play. It don't matter who wins to me. As long as I do it fair. Giveaway 1, round 2, 1 through 20. I got that new merch, y'all. 5 different color hats. They coming in tomorrow. I got some Army fatigue joints, kind of special. I just posted it. Take a look at them. Two balls come out, no play. 1 ball. Start the marination. Let's marinate this bad boy. Now see how I'm spinning it? I don't play around with this, man. I just want a fair shake. Fair shake is all I worry about. Here we go. They all marinated. All the chicken is marinated. Let's get our winner. We got our winner right there, baby. Let me move this back a little bit. Giveaway 1, round 2. Winner is number 11. Number 11. You ain't gonna believe this shit. My boy Tapia, who won twice last week, wins again this week. Ain't that a bitch? When you're hot, you're hot. Raul knows about this. Chico Langston knows about this. Mitch Just know about this. When they hot, they went 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row. And right now, Tapia got the hot hand. Giveaway winner 1, round 2, Tapia. I guess when you hot, you hot. That's why they say in basketball, when the guy's hot, keep giving him the ball. Keep feeding him. Give me a minute, guys. Give me 1 minute. Got to bring that back. Give me 1 minute. Here we go. Round 2. Giveaway 2. 21 through 40. (21 through 40). Here we go. And don't leave after this, y'all. I'm gonna break down the summary. And I got a few words with y'all, then we'll hang it up for the night. Move it up. 21 through 40. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get our winner. We got one more there. That means that's the winner. When you hot, you hot. The Tapia wins 2 weeks in a row. Both giveaways. Wow, I never seen that ever. Never, not 2. 1 year, but not 2. The winner is 28. 28. Gotta be my man, Crip. Crip, first time winner. 28. Crip is the winner. Salute the Crip. First time winner, guys. Yeah. Give me 1 minute, guys. Real quick update. Yankees losing 4-3, bottom of the 8th. No outs. Judges batting up. Real quick, also, giveaway 1, number 11, Tapia wins again. And 28, my boy Crip wins for the first time ever. Salute to Crip, who's out in Detroit still. He's flying back to Vegas in a couple of days. He's going to be very excited when I give him this information if he ain't watching live. Another great show. MG is really starting to show and prove. Got a lot of data waiting when we talk. I love that. Same thing with Sportsbook Jeff and everybody else that I get involved in this Al York Sports Show. Thank you to viewers to continue to watch and let us feed you. So what I want to do is continue to feed y'all from our perspective. I know you see it all on TV. Everybody got their own perspective. You know I definitely got my perspective. It's to the point where motherfuckers is taken from my perspective, but I'm not even going to go there. Y'all recognize, y'all know what it is. And like I said in the beginning of the show, guys, be careful when you join any new situation with showing love. I know the right thing is to do that. And even if you're in an old situation, but new people come in, I'm the type I like to make people feel at home. That's just the way I rock. But I got to, you know what? From what I learned this week, I'm studying everybody. That's it. Before I start shaking your hand and we laughing and we chilling, I want to watch you for 2 weeks move around. That's my new shit. After what I learned this week, what I learned this week, woo! I'm going to find out who you are first before I even say anything about you. Before I ask you what color you like. I'm watching you for 2 weeks. Do the same, guys. You know I'm going to show y'all love. Anything that I could do that could make it life better for y'all, win money, whatever, you know I'm going to give it to y'all because y'all supporting me just by watching and the contributions. All right? And last but not least, before we hang up the show, like I said, salute to MG, Sportsbook Jeff. You guys already know every Friday we doing this. Sunday I do my Ask Me Whatever. Have your questions ready, guys. Like even tonight, right now, you know what? This is what I'm going to give Al. I'm going to give Al this. Get them ready so when I go live on Sunday, y'all not looking at me and I'm looking at y'all. Last week, it took a minute to get off the ground. 2 weeks before that, 300 questions, 250, 178. It took about a half hour before we got to 70 questions. Come on, God, we doing this. Let's do this. This is what we doing. I don't want y'all just looking at me. No, hit me with some questions and let's kick it. Let's go back and forth with it. Let's do what we do as far as sports. And with that, Al York Sports, the raw truth. TGI Friday, open sessions and giveaways. The more the merrier. No drinking and driving is the fucking law. God bless everybody. I mean everybody. Love y'all.